So here I am back at Somerset Bridge. You will recall that yesterday, this is where I left off. Today is Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024, and I'm going to be continuing my walk from this point onward. And another thing I would like for you to remember is that from episode 2, when we walked from Dockyard to Somerset Village, we crossed 4 of the 5 islands and entered into the island of Somerset. Now this bridge here, Somerset Bridge, brings us to the end of Somerset Island. So from this point on, we're still going to be in the parish of Sands, but there aren't any more islands until we get way down to the eastern end of the country. So yep, I'm on the other side of the bay from yesterday. That is where I was yesterday, where all of those Adirondack-style chairs are, and I'm on the other side, and I'm going to continue from here. That is the smallest drawbridge in the Western Hemisphere, Somerset Bridge in Sands Parish, Bermuda, joining Somerset Island to the last remaining section of Sands Parish. So, on with my walk. I am going to stay off of the main road for a bit and continue on the old railway trail that I introduced you to yesterday. And we'll see how far I get this way before coming back onto the main road. But this should be good. This is what I'm entering right now. The railway trail. Remember the pylons that I mentioned yesterday? There they are, or at least one of them. The train tracks used to come right along those and join up with the main land again. Nice little bench to sit off on along the way, right there. Away from all the noise of the traffic. This is a better angle of the railway tracks pylons that came across the border and continued right on to this one, or these two that are right in front of me, and would have continued up into the land. Interesting. Here are the steps to bring me just up to the top and to rejoin the railway trail. Back on track. This is a house under construction. Nowadays, it doesn't seem like anybody builds little cottages anymore. Everything is a mansion. But hey, what can I say? Bermuda is another world. Still, of course, on the railway trail. This is a nice, quiet one. And I'm still in the parish of Sands. I'll let you know when I'm no longer in Sands Parish. Somerset, 2 miles from this point. And Paget, which is another parish, is 8 miles from this point. Definitely a lot of vegetation in this section of the railway trail. Sands Parish, leading soon to the parish of Southampton. Yep, lots of vegetation here. No sea side views. I am going to guess that this building used to be one of the train stations. Just sitting here derelict at the moment though. And as you found out in yesterday's episode 5, the actual train ran between the years 1931 and 1948. Now it's 2024, so this is a very old building, just doing nothing. I'm still walking. This guy here passed me by a little while ago. I guess he's made a turnaround and is coming back. Finished with his eastward bound section of his walk. Nevertheless, I'm still going. Okay. All right, see you later. Naval Annex Substation. Well, many years ago, this property, it's huge, you can't really get a sense of how big it is right now, was the United States Naval Base. You remember the British established bases here, in bases and forts in the mid-1800s. And when relations between themselves and the United States or America were not good. But then later on, when things improved around the world wars, and I guess they became somewhat of pals and allies, the United States established a base here as well. They're no longer here, but the property is overgrown and somewhat converted to a marina, but not very well kept at all. Here's another walker this morning. We're all trying, do our best. So the boundary between Sands Parish and Southampton Parish is somewhere around this area. There's no signpost on the railway trail. There is one over on the main road, but it's somewhere in this vicinity. So by now I'm stepping into Southampton Parish, which is the longest parish in these islands. So here's a view of Southampton Parish from the railway trail here, and that building over in the far distance, the peach color, is the Port Royal Golf Course building. But yep, that's a John Trent Jones designed course. I think that's the correct name of the original designer. I know that it was refurbished about maybe 10-20 years ago to the tune of $12 million. By the way, in the foreground here is a garden. Doesn't look like it's doing too much at the moment, although I do see a small pumpkin growing, probably from some other season. And here comes another walker with a dog. Morning, how are you?
Good, have a good day.
You too. Another runner. One thing about this railway trail here, though, is that it's in the shade. So you can get an early morning run in without being killed by the heat of the blazing sun. So that's good. This is the back view of a local primary school. It used to be called the Southampton Glebe School, but for the life of me right now, I cannot think of its current name. But anyway, Southampton Glebe School was its former name. These tracks are about to intersect with a road that takes you into a condominium development, like one of the first, about 40, almost 40 years ago, it was built, called Rockaway Condominium Development, built in the mid 80s. Yeah. Oh, that's a glimpse of them over there. And then this part of the road, or this section of the road, leads you down to the Rockaway Ferry and also to those senior residences, which are another set of condominiums in the background there. But in the meantime, I am going to continue across this road, continuing on to the path that the railway trail would have taken, all along and through here. The railway trail is about to join the main road again. Yep, here we are. Back to all the noise and the traffic. This is Southampton. So, Southampton, Bermuda. And the railway trail continues across the street. And I'm going to do that. I'm not going to try walking on this section of the main road. Yep, so here we go. Just cross the street and continue along the old railway trail. This one's interesting. This section is interesting. Makes me feel like Harry Potter world in here. I don't know why. Maybe because the trees feel so close. It's quite a narrow path, and they are a low umbrella over my head. This looks like a pylon. We've been seeing the pylons as we've come along right here. Evidence of the railway trail. Must have been nice. Too bad we don't still have a train operating, but hey, what can I say? Those days are gone and will never be back. Here comes a runner. Morning, how are you? Thanks, good. Okay, here we have another bench in an unexpected spot. But hey, you never know when you need a rest, right? Well, 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 what do we have here? Somerset, 3 miles. Paget, 7 miles. So I've walked a mile since the last one we saw like this, which was just on the tracks in Southampton. Cool. So I'm reaching the end of what I called the Harry Potter section of the railway trail. And we're getting to a residential area now. Well, that's cool. Look at this plumbago. So pretty. Pink hibiscus. Pink alamander. And yellow alamander, which is always so pretty. On another day, I'm going to have to make a detour on this road here, Whale Bay Road, because there is another fort up that way, not to mention Whale Bay itself is up through there. But I think you might be interested in seeing the fort that's located on that side of the island. Okay, took me a little while to get this shot here. I wanted to get the, oh, it is confirming, Evans Bay Station, the Bermuda Railway, 1931 to 48. The Evans Bay Station handled freight as well as passengers. There you have it. So I just came across the pedestrian crossing from the railway trail that ended by that truck. Came across the pedestrian crossing here, and now I'm going to continue back onto the railway trail where this van is. There goes one of our local mail carriers. Well, it's 8:56, and I have to say, walking along the railway trail at this hour in August is absolutely pleasant, because all of these hedges along the side of the railway, on the left side of the railway trail, are providing beautiful shade, so you don't feel like it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. It's great. This is what would happen if there were not trees on the left side of me. I am totally exposed to the blazing sun in this little section here. Woo-wee, gosh. Nope, it would not be pleasant at all. So, fortunately, it's only about 15 yards. And then we're back to oleander tree hedges shading me. If you look hard enough, you might be able to see a glimpse of the water. That's one thing about the railway trail in Southampton. It really didn't have seaside views, apparently. At least not the section that I have walked so far. So one thing I want to say is that if you're a visitor watching this episode number 6, you see I'm walking in these very isolated railway trails. It's quite safe. I'm all by myself. There aren't a lot of residential houses along most of the railway trails. Some there are, but certainly not in this section of Southampton. So yeah, you could do the same trail and walk the same routes I'm walking and be very comfortable in doing so. Just thought I'd make that point. Coming up on another bench. in the middle of nowhere. So the trail is finally getting close to the waterside. How about that? And I'm getting to the end of this section of the railway trail. I'm going to have to walk on the main road for a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is just walk as far as the junction, we call it, of the middle road of Bermuda with South Shore Road. For this morning, I am going to finish off this little section of the railway trail and then walk to the intersection of Middle Road and South Shore Road and call it a day. So I'm off the railway trail now. I'm back onto the middle road of Southampton, and in a second I'm going to show you something that you might be interested in, hopefully. But here's a whole stack of pylons. The railway train tracks would have been built on top of these pylons. How about that? Still there today. At least this section of the main road has a sidewalk, so I feel very comfortable. I was hoping that I would find the next one of these here. Somerset, 4 miles. Paget, 6 miles. But this one's broken. Maybe the Department of Works and Engineering can come out and fix it, because they've been very useful markers for my walk. Hopefully you can see that guy on the top of that roof way in the background. He is currently painting. Good morning, how are you? He's currently painting a Bermuda, or prepping a Bermuda roof for painting. So yeah, that's how we do it. It's all very manual. Okay, this middle road that I'm on right now is getting ready to split off into the South Shore Road. But right there to the right is the turning to the South Shore Road. And this is going to be marking the end of my walk for today. I think that's a good little chunk of Bermuda covered. And it's been great. It has definitely been a nice little walk. So today's walk has been from Somerset Bridge in Sands Parish to the junction of Middle Road and South Shore Road in Southampton. It's been great. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed doing it. And I'll see you the next time, where we will pick up from this point, the junction of Middle Road and South Shore Road, and continue our walk toward St. George's. And one last thing before I go is my step count on the pedometer right now is 5,542. Way in the distance is a cruise ship. That would be out at Dockyard. We are now in Southampton. Here comes the bus.